Hello and welcome to Roll for Topic, a roundtable discussion about topics related to running role-playing games. I'm Chris Salzman.
And I'm Andy Rao.
Andy, I have something that you said you wanted me to surprise you on air with, so I think this is
Okay, great.
this is your doing.
I regret it already, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, that's fine. So the topic that I want to talk about today, and I think we'll just dive straight into it is, so you know this. I was chatting with you earlier today, but I have I'm not going to name any names, but I have a Kickstarter game that is never going to get played that I got in the mail a year ago or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just been sitting on the shelf. So I went to Noble Knight today, just to see like how much money they would give me for it, because I've been trying to offload this thing. No one seems to be interested in kind of my social circles. So I looked at Noble Knight, which is just a wonderful company out in Wisconsin somewhere that they will buy all of your old games from you. And I just asked them, hey, how much would you give me for this? And it was a shocking amount of money.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So I am now suddenly sitting on this essentially this gift card to the world's largest gaming store.
Yeah.
Like that's specifically geared towards tabletop games.
Oh
So
man.
my question and the topic that I want to talk about today is, how to spend Chris's money, but more more broadly, like, okay, so if you were given kind of a gift card to buy sort of like one or two books from the history of TTRPGs,
Oh
right? Like
man.
what is the sort of thing that you'd buy? And so I'm thinking about this in a couple different ways, and I'll let you talk in a second. I'm just going to let
Yep.
you kind of think too. Is like, so one approach obviously is to trade this in for yet another game that I won't play, or like, right,
Well,
or like,
obviously,
something,
that's the
which,
moral thing to do.
yes, yeah, it's the moral thing, and like, that's fine, and that's definitely like kind of an option that I've thought about. The other thing that I was thinking about is like, well, I mean, is there a like is there something that would be good to have for the library, right? Like, is there
Hmm.
a game from the past that'd be nice to have a copy of? I mean, I started looking through like the old, like, original D&D books too, like, right,
Yeah.
like, so there's enough money there that I could pick up, not the first edition chainmail
Yeah.
printing,
Yeah.
but I could pick up like one or two of those pamphlets, right, like kind
Yeah.
of those original pamphlets. So I'm starting to think through like, okay, like, so do I go for something that's historical, that's interesting, or do I go for something that like I have my eye on otherwise?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's sort of what I wanted to talk about today.
Well, I know
Yeah,
I know they offered you a lot of money.
yeah.
Is it enough to purchase like one regular retail price Fantasy Flight game? Like
Yes, yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so
I think
that's
I
the
could get
scale of money we're talking.
I could get a nice like deluxe edition of something. Yes,
Okay. And an expansion for Twilight
yes,
Imperium or
yeah,
something. Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
oh, fascinating.
yeah.
Well, let's see.
Mhm.
First of all, I have to tell a quick Noble Knight story. I love Noble Knight. Uh, and I've been using them for like literal decades.
Yeah,
And they won my heart when long ago I shipped them. I sold them a stack of old like White Wolf splat books, basically.
yeah,
I didn't grow up in the Midwest, but I have that like just in the way I'm stupid and annoyingly self-deprecating.
yeah,
I also, when I'm like bargaining with you, I underrate the quality of like the product I'm trying to
yes,
sell you.
yeah.
So I told them it was like whatever. It's like
It's
very
terrible
good.
trash.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
broken,
it's
ripped
like
apart. Yeah,
there's like a slight crease on page 45,
yeah, yeah,
And so anyway, they offered me money. I shipped it and like I and is out of my mind. Like great. I was very happy with the deal.
yeah.
Then a little while later, I get an email and they're like, "Yeah, those books you sent us, like, those are better quality than you told us they were.
Yes.
So like, here's some extra money." So I was
Oh, nice.
that's
Yeah,
how you win like a customer for life. Like,
yeah.
so
That's very
anyway,
good.
as far as what I would do with my Fantasy Flight or maybe Monty Cook Kickstarter level money.
Yeah,
See, I'm getting all these little digs in.
yeah. You
Uh,
are. You're taking everybody down a notch tonight.
I have I have a lot. I have all the old D&D books that I need.
Hmm.
I do wonder if you would get joyful play out of some of the early basic D&D stuff.
Yeah.
Specifically, let me pitch to you that you look up what the D&D rules compendium,
Okay.
which it's a single volume hardcover that collected all of the rules from the five-ish or so of those old basic box sets.
Mm.
You remember those box sets were released in like the first box set was like levels 1 to 3, And then
Mhm.
the second one was like, and then by the end, it was like high level play. So
Yeah.
they, at some point, they collated the rules for that. So it's a complete zero to hero D&D game, but it uses that like minimalist is not the right word, but like charmingly old school rule set.
Yeah.
And it's like that always strikes me as like a pretty like play with kids friendly rule set. It's
Interesting.
like not nitpicky. There's not like three paragraphs defining exactly what indivisibility or invisibility means and how it affects other things. There's just a sentence that says you turn invisible, and then that,
Yeah.
it's a sort of game that you just like decide what that means, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I want to pitch that you maybe look at either some of those old box sets, but if you really want bang for your buck, take a look at that rule cyclopedia. Um,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, so I mean that, I mean, right, because I was also thinking about like, oh, like, should I go get one of those boxes, right? Like
Mhm.
if I can can afford them too. And part of me is also trying to figure out like, is it important? Right, this is like the age old question. It's right, like, is a PDF okay? Is like the
Yeah.
original okay? Is a reprint okay?
Yeah,
Right,
well,
like,
like
yeah,
the elephant in the room also is, as you say, you can go on drive through RPG and
hmm,
buy the PDF for 15 bucks
yeah,
and buy a POD copy of it. So like,
yeah,
so yeah, I mean, the PDF will give you the thing. So I guess it
yeah,
depends if it matters to you that you're holding
hmm,
an original old box set or book or not. Does
yeah.
that
And
matter to you?
I think it does a little bit. And I know we've talked about it, we haven't even talked about it on the podcast, but I've decided if I were to ever to do like a video game collection, for example, I would only want ones where people had like written their last names on the cartridge.
Mm, yep.
Right. Like, like that sort of stuff is really, I don't know. There's something about it, and I'm sure there's a really great like French word for this, right? There's like something
Yes.
about that that's just like, oh, like I like the idea that this is an item that's like lived a life, right? Like, I'm not interested in getting like a mint edition, like in a slab, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
graded copy of anything, right? But there is something that's like that would be kind of charming about like, oh, like this is someone's, copy of this module that they had in, like in the 80s that they played with a couple times, right? Like
Yeah.
that to me, like there is some value to that I can't quite put my finger on, but is something it's pretty tantalizing to think about.
I came late to that realization that a an RPG book that is clearly been used and loved is so much more satisfying to like flip through and bring to the table
Hmm.
than a fresh mint condition hardcover that smells like a new book, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I don't know why like why that is exactly, because like I'm not too precious with books, like, right, like, yeah, so I mean, maybe there's a little bit of that element of like, oh, the same sort of person owned this. That's sort of like me
yeah.
too. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it, like like stumbling across like marginalia, like like little notes and stuff like that. It's exciting. It's exciting in a way.
I
Yeah.
think I've shared with you photos of I bought a used copy of a second edition like mega dungeon basically. I'm forgetting the name. It's like the Dark Below or something. It's really
Hmm.
famous and people are probably mad that
Yeah.
I'm missing it. Anyway, it's a big dungeon and I think I showed you photos because the GM had gone through with a highlighter and like highlighted key throughout the entire module. He went crazy with the highlighter on like monster stats, and you
Hmm.
could see decreasing like hit point numbers. He had a pencil and he was
Yes.
like crossing off hit points in the margins. And
Yeah.
like that's a game that didn't sit on a shelf. It wasn't just read and appreciated. That's a game that like was played. And
Yes.
that's really neat.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I mean, it does make me wonder, like, should I be writing more notes just directly directly in my books, too, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
if I appreciate that so much, it's like, what am I doing to add more of that into the world? But yeah.
I've thought about that. I years ago I played at a convention and a guy was like beta testing his game,
Hmm.
and when we were done, he had all the players sign his rule book.
Oh,
And when he flipped open the rule book, there's like dozens of names
oh,
in like all different color pens and pencils and stuff like that. He has this like living record of
yeah,
all of the people that he shared a gaming table with.
oh,
And it was like it just really stuck with me. Like,
yeah.
so yeah,
That's wonderful.
I've always appreciated that you are not super precious about your stuff.
Hmm.
I'm like the opposite extreme. If I don't control myself, I'm someone that's like, well, I own a copy of this, but I don't have like a table copy of this. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the direction my particular neurosis takes me if I don't you know, fight it. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
yeah,
we might have yeah, I have, so I've got a couple of, like, Super Nintendo games that are, like, worth some money. Like, I've got a copy of Earthbound, which if you
oh,
know anything about, like, collecting, like,
yes.
it's crazy expensive, right? And like I even have the strategy guide that it came with too, which is
Oh
like almost more
man.
expensive than the game
Yeah.
itself. And like I mean, this is so cool that I have it. It's sort of like it's my childhood copy of it too,
Yeah.
right? Like so, there's a lot of sentimentality there as well. And like I've often thought about like well, like maybe I should sell it, and then like well, but I would never rebuy it, right? Like I would
Right, right,
never
right.
like spend the money to buy it. But on the flip side, I've also looked at it and been like, if I decided someday that I really did need a copy of it, like it'd be expensive, but it's not like, you know, I could never afford it expensive.
Right,
Right.
right.
Like, it's not like if I had a Black Lotus or something that I had that I sold, like you'd never buy it again. Right. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so there's like these levels of like of like luxury luxury to stuff too, right? Like I would not loan out that copy of Earthbound where I would loan out like other games and stuff that I have, but also like if it disappeared it would not be the end of the world end of the world either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I don't know, anyway, all that to say it's like yeah, so like I'm looking through like Noble Knights stuff and I'm like oh like it'd be really cool to own whatever the first printing, right, the first printing of Chainmail, right?
Mhm.
But like there's a bunch of different printings printings of it too. It's like I don't really need to have the first printing of it
Yeah.
yeah to enjoy it, because like I think whatever I get in this journey is something that I'd want to at least read, if not actually play
Yeah.
at the table.
I mean, that would be my main suggestion if I'm being serious is
Yeah.
like, is there a game that you know you would play if you got it? Or a
Hmm.
game that like you had to pass on. I mean, it could be a game you had to pass on the Kickstarter because it was out of budget, but
Hmm.
like it hurt you to pass on it. You know, like
Yeah.
maybe now is your, you know, I would just ask that question like what am I going to bring to the table? Cuz like, you know, we're middle-aged. We don't need more stuff to like sit on a shelf
Yeah.
and and admire, right?
Yeah.
In fact, both of us probably are at a point in life where we are actively trying to get rid of all the stuff we bought to admire when we were
Yes.
younger, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely at that stage. Yeah, so I mean, the other thing that I was thinking about, right? So it'd be nice to get like, one of those old rule sets or something like that, but then also just like maybe trying to get a couple of modules, right? Like some of the old
oh yeah.
modules.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like that is an era of gaming that I didn't get to like experience, right, as it was happening. So I mean, but like I mean, just from like a graphic design perspective, like I love the look the look
Oh,
of
I
those
know.
things
They're so good.
too. You're right. Yeah. But I mean, like, so I'm thinking, and I've even gone so far as to like, send out a text message about like if I went and bought one of these things, like, could I get a group together this summer to just play,
Oh
play
yeah.
through, play through one of these, right. And that's where I don't, right. Like I'm kind of coming in a little bit blind on this is right. Like I think some experience with some of these that have been republished for, fifth edition D&D and stuff. But like, I
Yeah.
mean, right, there's a bunch of them that I think still haven't gotten like a remaster or re-release. It's just like you can go, like you mentioned, get the PDF, or you can go find the
And the
original
form
somewhere.
factor. So yeah, those old modules for like basic and first edition D&D,
Hmm.
they have a physical characteristics that are lost if you buy the either the PDF or like a reprint and a recent anthology. And to Wizard of the Coast credit, they have reprinted most of like the classic ones in some
Hmm.
omnibus or other over the years. You know, there is at some point, so you know all those modules, the covers are not stapled to them, right?
I did not know
the
this.
the
Like,
covers the cardstock cover
yeah.
comes off uh
Oh,
and you use that as a GM screen.
okay. I did not.
Or at least that's how I used them.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's things like that. If you are gonna gather a group of people to play one of these things, yeah, you might as well. It shouldn't cost you too much money to buy
No,
a usable a non-precious version of like whatever.
yeah, they don't. I mean,
Uh,
it's equivalent to like, I mean, if I was gonna go pick up like the player's handbook or something like that, right? It's
right,
not. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Uh,
you should do that, and I think you should go. I think you should consider going on. I think there's a site called like Wayne's Books. He's like a bookseller,
Okay.
takes tons of photos, or some other places that like that really document the physical object,
Mhm.
and just like maybe just look around until you see one that looks kind of cool
Yeah.
or like fun or just yeah.
Are there any of those that stick out to you that you played back in the day? You're like, "Oh, like, this was, like, the classic one in my gaming group."
So yeah. So I have a stack. I mean, I'll need to go get my stack of first edition
Yeah.
modules, and I'll send you some photos or something like that, and you can
Yeah.
take a look. So yeah, there's definitely some modules I played. Most of the modules I ran as GM were second edition modules
Mm,
because that
mhm.
was just the age I was when I started running D&D.
Yeah.
So I played a lot of those old modules. Like I would steal from them for my second edition games that I ran. But like I don't have that like, oh, I grew up with like Expedition to the Barrier Peaks
Mm.
relationship to them that that slightly older than me gamers have. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of good ones, and they're heavily documented. So like you shouldn't
Yeah.
have trouble finding one that I guess kind of meets your interests as far as like what the yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, like I started looking around a little bit earlier today, just about like, like what do people recommend, and it's like, I mean, you can find a Reddit thread on any any of these modules
Yes.
about how like this is the greatest one that was ever made, right? For this, that, or
Yes.
the other reason. I mean, most people will admit like it's great because I played it, a bunch when I was
Mhm.
like 16 or whatever. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's probably what I'm leaning towards is getting something like that. I don't even know if I'd necessarily want to play it with the like I don't know the rule set that it was written
Sure. Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another question is like, is that inadvisable? I mean, I guess you mentioned the cyclopedia. It's like I guess I could grab that as sort of
Rules Cyclopedia. Did I
the rule
call it
cycle.
the compendium? I think I
I
called it
think
the
you called it
compendium.
compendium, but I'm just
It
gonna. But you called it the cyclopedia the second time, so we'll go.
Thank
We'll
you.
go. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Everyone they've probably finished writing their
Yeah, they
angry
probably
emails.
finished.
So
They've finished writing. They wrote their apology email again, and like now they're
right.
gonna get
Yeah.
to this part and be like, "I knew it." Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think so. There are so many rule systems that like try to do what early D&D did. You have enormous freedom about like what
Mhm.
rules to use. I will just personally say, having played those rules back then, I don't think that there's anything like magic about those rules that
Yeah,
right
yeah,
that can't be. There's no feeling you can have with those rules that you can't get with a system you're likely to be a little bit more comfortable and familiar
yeah,
with.
yeah,
That said, I mean, there's certainly nothing wrong with playing it with the old rules.
yeah, yeah.
There's a reason so many people in the old school community are like, there's like 500 rules that are games that are essentially just reprints of those old rules. There's a
Mhm.
reason. They have a lot of charm to them. So,
Yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah,
but you won't hit anything in there that's like a modern system cannot resolve this encounter. It
no.
requires, it requires the old
You
system. You know what I
realize
mean?
the old true text. You just go
Right. Yeah.
search the deep magic. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like super worried about that. It's like it's kind of a fun problem, right? Like of like okay, like which one to get, and like like can I get a group together and all that, which is it's sort of it's exciting to think about, and it's also nice having this like it's essentially like not free necessarily, but like it's like the cost is not a constant
Yeah.
like coming into it at all. It's just like oh like yeah, like if I want to whatever, like if the one that I really want for some reason is more rare, it's like we can just make that happen. But okay, anyway, so the other thing that I also was thinking about is like okay, well I mean 5.5 edition is out right
Yeah.
now too. Like what if I just traded in and just got like all the core books and then whatever else they have out for 5.5, which is that's when I started looking and realized that there's a bunch of like Dragonlance like tie-in things now in D&D 5.5, and I don't know if these are like official Wizards of the Coast things or not, but right, I was just like looking at the Noble Knights stuff. It's like oh, like there's actually a fair amount of like content for this system at this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
which was
Like
surprising to me. Yeah,
specifically 5.5.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
specifically
interesting.
at
See,
least
I
yeah At
That's
least
kind of news to me.
categorized on their website as
Yeah.
5.5.
No, there I would, trust them to be pretty scrupulous about the way they
Yeah.
catalog things.
Yeah.
That's, news to me, but that's honestly awesome to hear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know every time I've gone to, like, see what fan support is out there for, like, anything I want to do with modern D&D, there's there's always a ton of it. So,
Mhm.
like, that I guess that doesn't surprise me, but I'm pleased.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. It's like it's still sort of the classic problem of like I don't know, like that we've talked about. It's like, okay, great. So there's all this content out there, but it's like what's the good stuff?
Yeah.
Right. I think like that's where I mean, like looking at like the old modules, it feels a little bit, I don't know, more comforting. It's like there's gonna be a billion different reviews of stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas like, the new system, it's like, okay, like if there isn't anything that like I'm looking at like, oh, I must play Eberron or
Right,
whatever that I'm
right.
seeing, it's like, yeah, like okay, like what do you I don't know, like yeah, it's like what do you do as someone who knows how to play games, is not super interested in the D&D starter set? It's like, okay, like I don't know what you do these days, right? It's only
Mm.
been,
Yep.
I mean, right, like with 5th edition, it felt a little bit more obvious for like what you could choose to
Yeah.
do. But with 5.5, I'm like, I'm not sure what that is. And that might just be a like, oh, Chris and Andy just aren't tuned into what's happening happening in the
Right, right,
D&D
right.
world, which is true. But it's yeah, it's also just like, oh, okay, like I don't know, like this it's a very expansive space right now, but it's also not like clear like, oh, you have to pick up whatever, yeah, Curse of Strahd
Yeah.
2.
I
Yeah.
will say, also, so I've run a little bit of D&D 5.5,
Mhm.
and, I've run just D&D 5.0 stuff with it, and that,
Yeah.
like, there's no problem. I'm sure
Yeah.
someone is out there, but like, "Oh, but, like,
Yeah.
the archer feat was, like,
Yeah.
is slightly less effective," or something like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think I mean, if you wanna get the 5.5 rules, that's awesome, knock
Mhm.
yourself out. That said, it's not going to, like, change the way you play D&D 5, you already
Yeah,
play
yeah,
D&D, so, like,
I know.
yeah, there's a it's, like, heavily compatible, so
Yeah, I mean, it'll be the same thing where it's like every time I look at the player's handbook, I'm like, "Oh, that's a rule?"
that's right,
Yeah, so
that's right,
just
that's right.
be slightly more of that, I'm sure, like, looking at it.
Here's
Yeah,
something let me throw you out something else. I've just been thinking, what can I pressure Chris to buy with
yeah.
all of this loot? Here's something else to consider. So Noble Knight will have a lot of like swag from
Oh.
like so like old posters that like were up at that like that
Oh, yeah,
TSR would send to game stores.
yeah,
I think so if you were going to have some sort of awesome like get together in a few months to play through whatever it is you have in mind. And I mean, you might look at something like, I don't know, is there like a super badass like Dragonlance poster you can like put on the wall, or I don't know.
yes, yeah,
My mind is stuck with posters because I second edition D&D was like the heyday of like the box set. Like when people say
yeah,
they're nostalgic about the box set, they're really talking about, I think, second edition
yeah,
boxes. And they would often come with like a poster. Like, do
yeah.
you remember when like video games would sometimes come with this
Oh,
too? Like you'd
yes.
open the box and like inside your Dragon Warrior box was just like a Dragon Warrior poster you could put on your wall. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
so
No, I had I subscribed to, this will not surprise anybody. I subscribed to Nintendo Power for
of
like
course you did.
most of
Yes.
my life. Growing up, like at one point, I think I had like issues 1 through 200 or something like
Oh
that.
man.
Of course, I gave it to a friend because I was like, I don't want these anymore. And now I'm
Yeah.
like,
Then
oh
they
no,
like,
I should have kept it. But they all came with like fold out, like almost like
I,
pinup style
yeah.
posters, and
Yes.
I cut out more than one of those to put up on my wall because it was just like the
Yes.
coolest possible thing to have, like the Super Metroid poster. Yeah.
Years ago, I hate the word man cave, but I kind of
Yeah.
have one.
Okay.
And I
I can
decorated the
relate though.
walls. I framed a bunch of like poster maps from second
Oh,
edition
yeah.
box sets. So I have like there's, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but there's a bunch of kind of iconic maps of the Undermountain
Mhm.
dungeon. They're like
Mhm.
full poster size,
Yeah.
and there's like 4 or 6 of them. Anyway,
Yeah.
those are like really, there's like a lot of evocative stuff like that.
Mhm. I do not have like a space like that in my life
Right.
for hanging posters, but I often wish I did because
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I like that idea too. I mean, that would be pretty fun. I mean, yes, a small part of me did look at like Noble Knight's dice, dice
Of
options and stuff. I'm
course.
like, well, I mean,
Mhm.
I could get like the nicest nicest
Yes.
set of dice ever, but like that's just not what I need. So,
Have
yeah.
you also considered you considered buying like a battle pass for the new Call of Duty
Oh.
season or something like that? Because that
Yeah.
probably go through your cash pretty fast.
Yeah, they're
Just
probably
just
good, yeah.
just while you're thinking of awesome ways to spend your gaming dollars. Yeah.
I was in the grocery store. I should have taken a picture. I even thought of you when I saw it, but there was like a candy section that was like, get double experience or like more V bucks and whatever. And I was just like, oh, they're still doing it, like right. Still like,
What would you have done if you got a return text from me that was like, "Chris, I need you
please.
to buy every single one of those,
Yeah, I would have said, I'm
and then I
sorry.
need you to open them up, empty out the candy,
Yeah, and
and
send me
send me
the
photos of the codes." Like,
yeah. I would do that for you.
I know you would.
Yeah,
I know you would. I don't even have to ask. That's the kind
yeah,
of friend you are. So,
yeah. Cool.
well,
All right. Yeah.
I hope that you will provide an update
Mhm.
with what you do buy, and the more embarrassing the Noble Knight purchase is, the better.
Mhm.
The more I'm going to press you to say what it
Yes.
was. So,
Yeah. Oh no, I've got. I don't think there's anything there. I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of like gross like anime statue I could get that would be embarrassing. But no, I think there's nothing. Yeah, nothing here that I'm considering that I would not gleefully talk about on the podcast. So,
is there like a board game you sold that or you got rid of that you desperately wish you
yeah,
had?
we
Because
were so
you were talking earlier about the Battlestar Galactica board game, and
yeah. I was just going to
that
bring
is
that up. So
that
that's
now costs like $10 trillion to buy
oh
a used
cool.
copy of that.
Yeah,
Like that's long out of print.
yeah, so I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, that is the one game that I immediately thought of when you said that. But that when I got rid of it, I gave it to one of our good friends who said he wants to play it with me today. So I was like, well, okay, I guess I solved that problem. Yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah.
so you just might think about that too. So
I know it's weird. There's games that I played that I've really enjoyed that I would like to play again, but it's like did you ever play the Hero Clicks game? I think it was called Hero Clicks.
I didn't, but I
Yeah.
have a couple of them because they were often like con swag at Gen
Oh,
Con
okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Like
familiar with those.
like I played that a few times in college and like that was fun. Like it'd be fun to play that again, but like
Yeah,
I don't need to own it. I mean, I did,
right.
I looked at work there's another guy who's like super into Warhammer painting
Oh
stuff
yeah.
and he posted oh what are they called? There's like there's a new set of these like giant like walking buildings that like
Okay.
actually look pretty cool. I was like, oh, maybe I'll like get one of those and paint it. I'm like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do that. Like whoa. Right. Like, yeah, I
Did you
just
actually slap yourself because that's what
yeah, I was
like
just like, what are you doing? Like you're yeah. First of all, I'm not going to paint it. And second of all, there's no way it's gonna look like the pictures of what it's gonna yeah, of the professional painters. Yeah. So it's like it's tricky. Like I think I now know myself well enough to like when I'm hovering over the buy button to be like, that's not actually gonna
right,
I'm
right.
not gonna do anything with that. Yeah.
All right, Chris,
Yeah.
I know we need to wrap this up and you don't want to hear me tell you more troll suggestions,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so I'm in a couple of groups for like dead CCGs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't tempt me
And
with that. Yeah,
like
that
and
is one thing.
just this evening someone was posting about the Crow CCG from
Oh
like
no.
and like there's every single movie or property had a CCG between like somewhere in the 1995 to
Yeah,
98 year.
yeah.
So my friend, you could own like the entire Tomb Raider
Oh
CCG.
no. Oh, Andy, you gave me a really good idea that we'll talk about off air. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's buying the Tomb Raider CCG,
Well,
right?
yeah, I
Like,
mean it's going in. We're gonna make our money. No,
okay.
it's something else. But yeah, cool. All right, well, let's wrap it up there. Thank you. This has been a really fun conversation.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
of course, listeners, if you are like, oh, like I know the exact thing that Chris should buy, please let me know. I would
Yeah, if
love
you've
any
been listening for
suggestions.
a while and you have a bead on what Chris really needs to play or own,
Yeah,
you should let us know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And if the thing that you're like, oh, like I want to, Chris should get this, and then he should run it for me. Let me know too. So yeah, cool. All right, well that does it for us. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. You can go check out Andy and John Corey on their podcast Zombie Strains. They just did Night of the Living Dead, right? Is that the next one that's coming out?
It is by the time this
Yeah.
episode airs. It's our biggest episode of Zombie Strains
Yes.
in a year and a half or 2 years of doing it is finally
Yeah.
here because we are going over the movie Night of the Living Dead. So
Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
really great. Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, it's it's amazing you got that far. And my guess is the quality of the zombie movies is going to go up pretty substantially from here on, or is that wishful thinking?
Well, we've nervously discussed this. I haven't really looked at the list of like zombie movies from the 70s, which is where we're going
Yeah.
next. So
Yeah.
like film quality overall going up. However, I think this is the decade of like real trash exploitation.
Mm,
So like
okay.
I don't have a lot of confidence that like
Yeah.
I'm very nervous about what
Yeah.
we're heading to next, but
Okay.
we'll have to just deal with that.
That's great. Well, I mean, this is a major milestone. So I mean, yeah,
It is, yeah.
do definitely go listen to that when it comes out. But yeah, all right. Well, that does it for us. I've been Chris Salzman,
I've been Andy Rao.
and remember, if your player's having fun, you're a great GM.